Get creating content while being in college easy, and here's how you can do it too. So I've been doing this for at least almost a decade now. And the thing with it is that I promise that after this video, you will be able to stay in college while creating content, and not only just do that, but do it so comfortably that you will make it easy and everyone will just think, how is he doing it? So the way that I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna give you the stories first, I'm gonna give you the lessons as well, and also I'm gonna add it with some secrets of mine. So the 3 steps will be here. The way that I really think about this subject is about time management, but not in the term that everybody thinks. So the first time that I was actually trying to create content while actually being in school, okay? So obviously it depends on who you are. Are you a student or are you a college student? And I was there a student and I found it so good to actually upload videos. I think it's heaven for me. But at the same time, I realized that, well, I have also school or college, whatever it is for you. For me, I realized that, well, sometimes college even sucks. I remember that I was really in French class at the 8th grade. I was literally not listening to teacher and I was planning and drawing my thumbnail for my next video. Well, which this gives you just an idea about like how I really loved content creation, and obviously like being in school and the educational system was also part of my life. So it's not as if I'm gonna choose one, but I have to choose them both. Now, because I talked about this, and this is very interesting of a topic, I'm gonna also give you the notion of, do you want to actually do college alone? Or do you want to do content creation also alone, or you want to do them both? To answer this question, for the last year in high school, and also one of the greatest years in content creation for me, I was actually doing both, in addition to other stuff. So it's like daily life, like what you want to do. You go to the gym, you do sales, etc. And I was also creating content and being in college or school at the time. I was doing awesome at the time in school, but I really didn't realize that. So, okay, before I'm going to give you the results of my statistics, I have to give you more context. So the next year, because at that year, I said, dude, like if I'm doing this right now, if I'm going to just quit and just go content creating all the time, like a full time, of course I'm going to get more results. It's a no-brainer. And that's what I was literally hallucinating with the entire time. Everybody knew it. So I realized that, well, I said, look, I'm going to stop going to college for 1 year. I'm going to do what I want. If what I want didn't work, sure, I can go. And that's what I thought. Good. I did that. So when I did that, I was awesome for the first, like, let's say 6-8 months. I was doing great results. Then everything stopped. I was really horrible of a content creator that, like, I really didn't upload anything, which is bad. So it's not only that I was not trying to create content, I was like horrible. I'm telling you, like at the time, I had mental issues. I was really in a bad spot. Like obviously my entire life kind of like, what they say, like when it trains its sports, it was raining and pouring, dude. And there was like some sort of lightning as well. But like, that's what it is. You understand? So like financially it was broke. For 9 months, I didn't get a haircut. Familially, like we had just an event happening, like crazy. Not crazy, but like rare and harsh. And we were like I'm not gonna say the victims, but you got the point. So it was going through some shit. And at first I thought that, well, actually, it is just because I had those stuff happening and it was not good mentally, whatever. And that's why I actually didn't do good on YouTube. And that's what I was saying like, all the time. The good thing is the future holds mysteries. The next year, I did college alone without YouTube, which is crazy. I did college alone, the same thing. Like I was doing awesome in college, like doing awesome the entire year. Like I was the 8th in class of 87 people. So it was like in the best 10%, more than that, but whatever. It was like less than that. I was the best 10%, just that's easy. me being humble. So I was that, but I ended up repeating the year. So we didn't succeed to pass to the second year, or like the second grade in college. I had to repeat the year. And I was like, dude, now what? So I went back to creating content. And also, like, for a year, I had only one subject to prepare to. So it was only creating content again. And at the end of this year, which is like this year, okay? Last year, whatever. I ended up doing statistics. I studied the last 3-4 years of my life. And I realized that it's 13 months when I do college or when I stay in school and also create content, which is, by the way, like with that subject also, I found out that that's also like true. So when I was not studying in the last year, so like I had one subject, so that also like kind of like portrayed itself. However, I realized that when I am in school and also I create content, I'm just better at both. I drive more results in content and I drive more results in school. And I'm like better emotionally, mentally, etc. I realized that, now it's a no-brainer for me to stay there. If this wasn't enough and you have this, I really like sometimes get dark about it and I just wanted to quit. So a few months ago I had that. I really was bad. I was down bad. I really wanted to quit college. What to pursue my dream? Okay, so I went to a therapist and said, here's what I think. I was like, I think like I'm not doing good and a lot of people are telling me to go to a therapist. I really want to quit college and here's why. I stayed with her for almost an hour, dude. And there were like clients waiting for her and stuff. And also she gave me 1 hour. So, like she gave me time to comprehend. And she literally made me to not make that decision and actually go back from my decision. You understand? And it was awesome, by the way. It's like therapy is awesome. Like I went there. She treated me. I remember going out. You see when Cristiano Ronaldo scores a goal, he uploads that picture on Instagram, that's really what I felt. It's like awesome. I went out and I'm like, dude, what was that? I thought it would be like some shit stuff. It's awesome. Whatever. But the thing is, like you have to comprehend that that's just part of it. And I realized that, I was like, how did I think that? Now, that's why I'm giving all of this period to explain to you, because I know if you're doing content and you actually stay like in college or school, whatever, because there's also like colleges who call it school. Like my college can be called school or like it's an institution. So like, do you want to call it school or do you want to call it college? So that's why whatever you want to say. So college, while staying in college creating content, it can be so easy to just want to choose one. And if you are a statistic guy, I gave you my statistic first. If you have another one, I think Stanford or Oxford did a research about the people that start a startup, which is like a new company, while they're staying at their job. And others who don't, like just quit their job and start a startup. And they realize that there is a 33% success rate for the people that stay while doing the startup. And the reason behind it is like cash flow and a lot of things, but really it's not like in college you don't get a cash flow, but it's just what it is. For me, I realized that it's just the same thing. Now you realize that you have to do them both. Now like how you can do them both, and this is like just the fun part. Like for me, this is the heaven that I speak about, is like always balancing. So this makes me very strong in college. Like I don't give a fuck. You see, like if people do something, like if there's something happening, I might just not give a fuck and move on. If there is some drama that I really don't care about in the class that I don't want to hear, it's not like I'm putting all my life in college life. I just don't give a fuck. I have a lot of other stuff to do. So I don't care about the stuff that doesn't matter. And by definition as well, I just focus on the stuff that matter. Like right now, I went back to sit in the front row. Right? Unless if some motherfuckers beat me and not beat me, but like they went there very ahead of time to sit there. But other than that, I'm always sitting up front because I realize that just gives me an insane ROI, return on investment. I just sit there. Obviously, I don't have any distractions because there's nothing. Like I sit in the back, and all what I see is heads moving, and people scrolling in their phones. So much distractions. So for someone like me, I stay in college. I have to create content. I'm not gonna just go back and revise all the lessons. So I have to get that like instantly, right? So I have to sit in the front row. Makes me even have great relationships with my teacher. Like teachers do, like professors in college. I have their numbers, we speak, they trust me, they speak to me, they know what's happening to me, my family, etc. And these relationships helps a lot. It's literally the person who's going to give you the grade. And this is what I'm talking about. Like it's being in college while creating content, it doesn't have to be something that is a disadvantage. Just look at it as an advantage standpoint and you will realize a lot of stuff. Like as an example, I always pitch to the classroom, although that I don't know them. So like my classroom, because I repeated the year, so they had 1 year ahead of me. Like they got to college for 1 year. I wasn't with them because at that time like I repeated and I only had one subject. So now I'm with them in the second year, right? So I don't know them like they know each other, but still like I send them audios like 5 minutes, 6 minutes audios. They like it or not. I'm used to creating content. So like one too many audios, that's just what it is. I really just said it. I remember like in the evening, I was like, all right, I just don't talk to a lot of you in real life because I speak good on the phone. Like I've been almost a decade creating content. Of course, I'm very good at speaking on the phone, but I also followed it up so they understand that I said, well, I also know how to speak to public in real life because I also do sales. So it's like part of it. But it was a good line for me. I really loved that, and also it is authentic. And the thing is, like, I really believe that that's what it is. So the other part is not only called like YouTube or content creation will help you in like, let's say college, but also the other way around. It's like, if you're gonna, like, I am in college, I can use that in my content. Whether that being, let's say, I create content about college, or I just get the knowledge that I got in college and just use it in my videos. In fact, it just can help you to create videos. It's like have more energy, have more stuff, especially for me because I am in nursing college. So I know all about nutrition, all about anatomy, all about psychology, or about sociology, all the different stuff. So I study a lot about the stuff that I can use. Like right now, I'm very nutritious, although I don't eat all the time. And I don't spend a lot of money and stuff like that. But still, I'm very, like, I have the energy to create videos, go to college, come back, do stuff, etc. And you also understand, like, what you have to focus on, etc., etc. And you also have a very good understanding of yourself. Also, it depends on who you are. So if someone in finance, I studied finance for 2 months in college, I realized that you finances will be awesome. Like, you know everything that is happening, which is also, like, what I do. I like to calculate everything. And I cannot expect less from someone who studies finance. There's also taxations, there's also law, there's also a lot of stuff that you can actually get the benefit and you have an unfair advantage over everyone. So content creation, like part of incorporating what you're actually studying about or what you're doing in college, is usually easy. Okay, is usually easy. However, people, I think they get tricky because that's what I found it. It gets tricky to use social media in college, which, look, if you use it right, you're gonna be happy. You can be better at presentations because you just know like how to present. You can be better at talking to people, you can be better at socializing, and you can be better to become just best version of yourself. Like if that means like you don't have to speak a lot of people because they're just shit, you can just do that. And you also like have great connections with the people that you like. So there's smart people, there's good people, there's brave people, there's entrepreneurs in your class. Probably you don't know them, but they are. So you just have to figure them out. And you understand like how there's people and they're different and whatever. So all of this just helps you like how to create content and also be in college. All right, now let's speak about more. It's like, all right, now I create content and also I am in college. Like, what's something that I can do that can help me actually do them both? Well, this is a tricky question because I truly believe that saying that you are actually in college and also creating content, like what the type of content that you create. So now if you already create something, you obviously have to continue because you've built your momentum over it. Now if you like, let's say there's someone who's just starting to create content and he's still in college, I'd say really just choose whatever you're interested in, really. Like just choose that and make it a start. And make that your goal consistency instead of results. So make volume. Let's say like before the end of school year, I upload, well, it depends on your platform. So obviously YouTube long form takes more time to create than let's say short form, TikTok or Instagram or even Facebook. So depending on your platform, let's say like YouTube, you make 20 videos before the end of the year. You make, depends on you, okay? But if you're starting out, you have to know like what you're capable of. However, if you're already in, you have to make just more volume. So let's say at the end of the year, before the end of the year, I make 50 videos or more. 100, 2,000, whatever. But it depends on you, and also depends on the platform that you're using and your strategies and all of that. Also how much money you have, how much you're willing to invest, how much time you have. Are you working alone? Do you have staff? All of this is actually just part of it. And before you think you have to build systems, I think you shouldn't be building systems. You have to build processes. Like system and process is different. Like system is like you just need to fill stuff. All right. It's like there is a form and you just like fill your name. That's more of a system. When it comes to process, you realize that, well, okay, I want to create a video. Now, first I need to have an idea. Cool, I have that. Now I have to need a structure. Okay, sure, I already have a structure, but I have to fill it. All right, I'm going to do this. I have a script. All right, I do some sort of process to go through all of them. And you have also the process, let's say, of filming. Okay, I have to set up the lights, stuff like that. Good. I have to, the lights should be in place. My clothing should be good. I have to brush my hair, etc. So this is more of a processes that actually, it's like also like the production, post-production, etc. You have to edit. I'm going to edit it this way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the titles this way, the thumbnails, upload it, whatever works for you. I'm just here like, bullshitting. But the thing is, this is a process, not a system. System is like, I'm just I don't know. It's just like some weird definition that people use for some reason. But I think for system, what system is like spending no effort, no time, no energy in getting everything. I really think that's like, I wouldn't say impossible, but like I would say it's not practical and it's not efficient. It's not even efficacious, which is like not effective. Okay, now you understand. So what are ideas that you can actually create in terms of your content? And I'm going to give multiple choices. I think for me, what worked best for me as collaborating between my college and also the stuff is really getting more content, like getting more audience. Because a lot of people are actually staying in college and stuff like that. So just by speaking about your experience in college or whatever, you attract more people that are just college students. You're right. I remember even in the last year of high school, I was actually made a video inside of my high school, like trying to be there for 24 hours. I know it's crazy, but that was my stage, I remember like getting into this class and it was speaking about how the class was dirty. I really remember. And I found all of these bottles and these boxes and they said, who does that? This is not like a dumpster. This is your class. You have to take care of it because who's going to just take care of it after you? And it was really given all of these lessons. 2 days later, like after the weekend, they came to me, the class, and they were like, dude, we just had a literal like prom or just, we had something going on in our class. And that was the reason why you just stood it there. And I said, dude, like what? Like it doesn't make any sense. But the thing is, like these things, it really makes you popular, especially if there is a special thing. And also just makes you more consumable by the people that are related to you. So if you're in college, there's a lot of college students out there that can relate to your content more. You see? And also there's other stuff too. It's like, for me, I think what's most interesting about college is attracting the right people, because really like huge amount of people go to college. Absurd amount. So when you say college student, you're literally calling everyone because people in high school or middle school want to learn about college because that's the next stage. People who are after college, they want to see what's happening in college and if their experience was awesome, and also they get reflections. People who in college, of course, they want to see it. And people who never went to college want to have an idea about being in college. So it's kind of like, of course, you have to create content about college. You understand? And look, it just like all of these processes together. But I think also like, all right, I would say that for me, like one of the craziest stories that actually has happened to me in terms of actually creating content and uploading videos, it was this day where I was spent 24 hours outside my house. I really didn't sleep like on the streets, but I slept in my garden, our garden. Like we had a garden back then. Those days, you know, like we don't have it now. So, but the thing is, like we had a garden, which was pretty good actually. But it was not in the house, and it was cold winter. It was like 9 degrees Celsius. So I realized that, well, I just want to sleep outside because that's what I wanted to do, and so be it. Uncomfort challenge. So I did that. I slept in my garden, like doing, really sleeping on the floor. Not on the floor, on dirt. So it was a little bit weird, but I had some good jacket. In the morning, I didn't enter my house, nothing. I remember I woke up, I filmed, and I went to school, and I went back. And the thing is, that was an insane experience. Like imagine being 24 hours outside of your house and you go back to school and you just get out and nobody noticed. You think I was sitting in the front row in that period too, and I realized that, dude, nobody gives a fuck. But it was really interesting. You understand? It's like those moments are the thing that will be like, it's all worth it. Like what a great story you can have after that. Like imagine spending like your night outside of your house and you just go back and go to school. And you're like, for the past 24 hours, I really didn't do anything in my house, you know? I didn't do anything in any house. Like even the food, dude, it was pretty, whatever. But yeah, those experiences are actually what makes you better as like as an individual. Obviously there's also the other aspects. It's like, let's say I was creating content about sports like running and stuff like that. So I just became so athletic, you know? I was the best in my class, I remember. I was like the first in so many sports. I wouldn't say like always. There's some sports that some people have more advantages, but I was very good. Like if I'm not the first, I'm going to be the second or third. When it comes to endurance or stamina, like you would say like long running distances or WhiTeeee, like the pulmonary test, whatever. I was always first because that's like what I did. I was literally doing workouts and running all the time, and that was my content. So like whatever you find yourself comfortable with, you can just film your journey and day in a life as a college student in X field. I think those also like can do awesome, and also like you don't feel like you're doing a lot. The most important is to be authentic with your content, so you can actually like, for me, I have followers, my teachers, my colleagues from above years, the people that work in my field. So it's not that like they finished studies and stuff, and I know them, and they watch my content, and I have no problem. It's like I have no trouble giving to the teacher my channel, and I'm fine. Like sure, go watch it, dude. But these, you have to be more authentic, right? And as a test to know like if you're authentic or not, if people recognize you in public, do you hate it or do you love it? If you hate it, you're unauthentic. If you love it and you just, you know, I always like to give them advices about schools. I'm like, do you study? Oh yeah, okay, so do you study great or just a little bit? They're like, oh yeah, study awesome. If it's a group, I study. Who's the best at school in you? And you're like, oh, okay, you have to study, you have to do this. Really, that's my subject, like my go-to subject when I meet them, but to give a good lasting impact. And also like to channel their energy, because they can get like some excited with that. So I channel my energy from me to like whatever school or whatever that. So that's also like great. But the thing is, like when it was the period when I was unauthentic with my content, I really wasn't able. I hated when people recognized me, because it felt like, dude, I just hate it. And people were not really motivated to come to me, right? But the thing is, like, that's how you know. So if you're authentic with your content, like, sure, your teacher watching, your professor, your colleagues, your co-workers, dude, it's awesome. So as I promised, like right now you have the ability to actually stay in college while creating amazing content, and not actually do that, but do it correctly, whether you want to start or you want to continue the right way. And really, it's like, that's all you need. Without anything else, you can do that right now. And look, what you've seen here, you can never unseen. So might as well subscribe, right? All right, cool.